invocation will be given by University Chaplain Dr. John Wheeler.
Let us pray. Holy and Heavenly Father, we are honored by your presence among us, and therefore we do not hesitate to ask for your blessing. Especially reward the hard work and high hopes of these graduates, as they and their families have invested heavily in their education and the higher, more constructive aspects of life. May they also reap the rich and abundant dividends of wisdom well applied, of a life well lived, and of love lavishly spent upon their family and friends, and vocation, and you. And now may the noble spirit of the season infuse all of us with the true meaning of forgiveness, of love, of joy, and of peace. And may genuine generosity prevail both in our hearts and in the world as we live out and pray for goodwill to all men. Both now and forevermore we pray it. Amen.
Now the Chancellor of the Daytona Beach campus, Eric S. Stoughton.
Please be seated. And good morning to all of you. It's a great pleasure to welcome the families and the friends of the graduates, as well as our community friends and our distinguished guests, to this, the most important and probably the most anticipated event on our academic calendar, graduation. As a matter of information, we have a photography area available in the front of the auditorium, so please come up, take your pictures, and then as a courtesy to others, return to your seats so that everybody may have an opportunity. Also, I'd like to remind you that there will be a reception for families and friends of the graduates at the University Center immediately following the ceremony. Now it's my pleasure to present the president of Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University, Mr. Kenneth L. Tallman, who will introduce the speaker for today. President Tallman.
Members of the graduating class, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it's a real pleasure for me to add my welcome to all of you here this morning. At the outset, let me congratulate each of the graduates and their parents, because you are the ones who really deserve our accolades on this special day. We're here to honor you, the graduating class of December 1986, and to give you a send-off as you leave to embark upon the most important journey of your lives. And what an exciting journey it should be. I'm a little prejudiced, of course, because I've been involved in aviation for over 40 years, and I'm still at it. And it's been more than a vocation, it's been a life. And I hope each of you finds the same thrill and the same excitement that it has brought to me. And before you switch your tassels, we do have a little program in your honor, and we'll start it off this morning with our commencement speaker, who I would describe as an aviator, an aviation entrepreneur first class, a man who has devoted his life to designing, manufacturing, maintaining, and flying aircraft. Alan E. Paulson. Alan Paulson typifies the can-do spirit that makes America great. He began his career with virtually nothing, and he rose to become one of the most successful entrepreneurs in the country. Excuse me. After high school, Mr. Paulson attended the University of West Virginia for a time, but he left there before World War II for a job as an apprentice mechanic with Trans World Airlines, which was then owned by Mr. Howard Hughes. During World War II, he received flight training in the Army Air Corps, and after the war, he finished his flight training through the GI Bill. And he returned to TWA, where he was promoted to a head mechanic and later to flight engineer. With the true instincts of the entrepreneur, Mr. Paulson expanded a part-time business of buying and repairing old cars and car park to include airplanes and airplane engines and engine parts. And after he left TWA in 1953, he founded a corporation specializing in converting surplus passenger aircraft to cargo planes. And at the same time, he became a distributor for Learjet in 10 of our western states. In 1970, Mr. Paulson formed the American Jet Industries Company to develop a plane of his own design, the Hustler. And then 8 years later, he bought an unprofitable subsidiary from Grumman Aerospace, which produced corporate jets and small piston engine aircraft. And by focusing on the company's top seller, the Gulfstream II, he was profitable within the first year. You might say his ship came in. And Dr. Paulson, as he is now known, took Gulfstream public in 1983 in what was one of the largest Wall Street stock offerings ever. Then in August 1985, he sold Gulfstream Aerospace to the Chrysler Corporation, but he remained as the chairman, the president, the chief executive officer of the company, and a member of Chrysler's board of directors as well. So Alan Paulson, his stature as a self-made man was honored by the Horatio Alger Association of Distinguished Americans in May 1985 when he was presented their annual award. And last April, of course, he also received an honorary degree in aviation management from Embry-Riddle. So, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming a true American, our fall 1986 commencement speaker, Dr. Alan E. Paulson.
Thank you, General Tallman. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, faculty members, honored guests, and the new graduates. Let me be the first to congratulate you. Embry-Riddle is an outstanding school and no stranger to Gulfstream. For years, we have recruited his graduates to build what we believe the finest aviation company in the world. Former graduates have grown in numbers such that they are now organizing their own Embry-Riddle alumni chapter in Savannah. I hope that many of you have the opportunity someday to be a member of this new organization. Now on with the matters at hand. I believe that commencement speeches are not like designing an airplane. It's less drag, the better. So the remarks today are going to be brief and to the point. Hopefully, some of the lessons I learned from a lifelong career in aviation may help you. The diplomas you receive today are your tickets into the real world. You earn them, and your parents and families help to pay for them. But in the real world, you use more than your diplomas. You use your savvy, your street smarts, your God-given brains, and I'm sure your common sense. My generation believed in the American dream, and I still do. But when you look at the consolidation within the airline industry and the cutbacks within general aviation and the reduced spending for military programs, it may appear that the foundation of our industry had become a little shaky. And you folks may worry that you have a difficult road ahead of you. But that doesn't mean you should lower your sights, and I certainly hope you won't. Why do I say that? Well, I'm going to let you in on a secret. Things are better than you think. My career spanned 3 wars and several economic recessions. During that time, I built several companies in aviation, each larger and more successful than the one before. The lesson I learned is that you will always be bucking headwinds and crosswinds in your career. What you need is a flight plan for your life. Those of you who have a plan, a direction, a love for what you do, which I might add is one of the most important things, you will be successful. Those who don't will want for a better way, for a better day. In the biography of your school, The Sky is Home, I read the philosophy of John Riddle and Higbee Embry. And I'm now quoting, once something was accomplished, they refused to be satisfied with status quo. Instead, they looked for new horizons. End of quote. They started with a flight school, took on airmail, expanded in commercial passenger service, and ultimately their effort resulted in this fine university today. The book relates that those guys had their ups and downs. They had been both rich and poor at times, but the one thing they remained constant in their flight plan was their ability to adapt to changing time, to seize new opportunities, and above all, a desire to succeed. I've dedicated my whole career to identify needs and meeting them by developing better products and service for the world of aviation. I began my career as a TWA mechanic 45 years ago. I left to form my own parts business 10 years later because I was looking for new horizons. I got into aircraft modifications because I wasn't satisfied with status quo. When I became a Learjet distributor, I worked to become the leading sales distributor. Why? Because I refused to be satisfied with anything less. And when Grumman put their Gulfstream division up for sale in 1978, I seized the opportunity to buy it and build it into an international company, as it is today. In 1978, sales were less than $200 million. We're shooting for over $1 billion next year. I've hit some rough weather during my career. You will too. But like the founders of this university, I adapted my flight plan and remembered to hold my course. The best way to avoid or to get around problems is to anticipate them and plan accordingly. Instead of dwelling on problems, my strategy was to figure out how to solve them, to develop a competitive edge. It is not luck that Gulfstream is having the best years ever while the rest of general aviation is stalled. At Gulfstream Aerospace, technology has become our competitive edge. When competing with foreign governments, supported products such as the French Falcon and the Canadian Challenger, the only way we compete head-to-head is by making an investment in technology and the state-of-the-art products. That's what our new Gulfstream 4 program is all about. And that's why our customer backlog is sitting at $1.5 billion today. The lesson I've learned was to keep abreast with technological achievements and to commit myself to continuing education process through my life. Technology has always been the foundation of our industry. The ability to design, to develop, to adapt new technologies is what makes American aircraft and American pilots the best in the world. Whether you are engineering a new plane, manufacturing it, or behind the throttle, don't stand or settle for status quo. If you are going to succeed, you may have to consistently look for ways to make it better. I did, so did Higbee Embry and John Riddle. When I look back over my career at the changes in aeronautical designs and engineering, I'm amazed. From the simple analog cockpits to our all-glass digital cockpits on our Gulfstream 4. From the gas-guzzling piston props to our fuel-efficient turbofan jets that are so quiet you have to listen to hear them. In fact, at the NBA show, it was a joke around there. Have you heard the G4 take off? And the answer was that nobody has. So anyway, we do have a real quiet airplane, and I am amazed not only at the advancement in technology, but the fact that we've been able to keep up with the changes. So the message is this: your education process doesn't stop when you get your diploma today. It's an ongoing beginning. Another point to remember is that through life you cannot be only a student, you also must be a teacher. Think of it. Everything I've learned over the past 45 years, everything you learned about aviation has taken place only because someone was willing to take the time and make the effort to teach us. You've all heard the cliche that you have to give something back. It might be a cliche, but it is true. That's one of the reasons I'm here today. Running Gulfstream takes a lot of time, but I still remain an active member of GAMA, chairman of Wheeling-Pittsburgh Steel Company, and director of Chrysler, and several other companies. I put a lot of hours, but I still remain an active member of the Society of Experimental Test Pilots, and my philosophy is, if your career in aviation is good to you, don't forget the people coming up behind you. One of the things I worry about the people behind me is a new disease that has infected our industry. It's called product liability insurance costs. Gulfstream has been blessed with good health. When I look at my associates at Lear, at Cessna, and at Piper, I get worried. And you should too. When unfair laws are ballooning insurance premiums to the extent that they exhaust all of manufacturing profits, I get concerned. There's insurance costs for some of the companies like Piper and Cessna run up as high as $60,000 per aircraft. And you wonder why there's no cheap airplanes on the market today. The alternatives are limited. So you have to pass on the cost to increase price of aircraft parts. However, basic theory tells us that the higher prices mean fewer sales, less profits for new investments, and that means fewer jobs. What the cause of this ballooning of insurance expense are in the design, manufacture, and performance of today's aircraft unsafe? Of course not. They've never been. The real villain lies in antiquated and outdated laws, which in most states allow claimants to pursue litigation in a manner which is called joint and several liability. What does that mean? If there is an accident, everyone who has flown, maintained, serviced, and built the aircraft gets sued jointly. And the one with the deepest pockets, which is likely to be the manufacturer, ends up paying. That's not fair. I don't mind paying my share, but I don't like paying everybody else's. And when jobs are at stake, it becomes everybody's problems. That includes you. What you can do, well, two things come to mind. First, get informed and get involved. Don't just sit on the sidelines and watch, jump in and play the game. The future is yours, which will be at stake. Learn the facts about product liability and speak out to your friends and representatives in the government whenever you get the opportunity. Second, practice safety. Safety in design, safety in engineering, and safety in the cockpit. I practice safety. One key to the success of our Gulfstream program has been the excellent safety record of these aircraft. In the cockpit, I've racked up many thousands of hours in my career. Even today, I'm still time pilot at Gulfstream, and I fly over 650 jet hours a year. And the only thing that has not changed from my first flight hour 40 years ago to my latest one flying down here today is my respect for safety and caution. You've all heard the phrase, there are old pilots and bold pilots, but there aren't any old bold pilots. You don't have to look beyond me to validate that statement. I've never had the urge to push an aircraft to the extremes beyond what the manufacturer told me. I don't expect you to either. The lesson here is that we have enough regulations in this industry. If you don't want to play by the rules, don't get into the game. Well, I pointed out some of the issues you'll be confronting in the future and some lessons I've learned during my career, but I've saved the most important lesson for last, and that is to have fun and enjoy your career as much as I have. You never will be successful doing something you don't enjoy. When I think of what lies ahead, I'm envious of you. I think of it, new computers, heated design systems, advanced materials and electronics, supersonic transports, which will orbit the Earth. It makes me tempted to stick around in this business another 40 years. But seriously, the future belongs to you. Just remember not to settle for status quo. Stay abreast of new technology, play it safe, and success will follow. Graduates of 1986, you're cleared for takeoff. Good luck.
One thing Dr. Paulson didn't mention, he did fly down here on his G4. He didn't mention that he had a quartering headwind of 125 knots to put up with, so he faced yet another headwind to come down and join us, and for that we thank you very much and appreciate your participation with us this morning. I'd like to give you a little something to remember. Thank you. Each trimester, an outstanding graduating senior is selected to receive the Chancellor's Award. The candidates for this award of distinction are selected on the basis of academic excellence, campus activities, and contributions to the university and the local community. These students are the leaders who challenge others around them to think and to question and to act. The candidates for this award are recommended by representatives of the faculty, the staff, as well as the student body. And so selection for this honor reflects campus-wide recognition of the recipient's outstanding accomplishments. I'm very pleased today to announce the senior who is receiving the Chancellor's Award. Richard A. Smith, will you please come forward? Today Richard's receiving an Associate of Science degree in Aeronautical Studies, as well as a Bachelor of Science degree in Aeronautical Engineering with a concentration in computers. He's graduating with high honors, magna cum laude, having earned a grade point average of 3.87. In addition, he's been on the Dean's List for 11 semesters, has been elected to Who's Who among American colleges and university students, and he's been the recipient of several scholarships, among them the $10,000 Hess Oil Scholarship. Now, in addition to all this, he's been involved with a number of campus organizations, including Omicron Delta Kappa, Sigma Gamma Tau, which, the Engineering Student Advisory Council, as well as a participant in many of our intramural sports. Following graduation, Richard will be seeking employment in the fields of aeronautical engineering and flight simulation. Richard, you truly exemplify the outstanding qualities and accomplishments embodied in the Chancellor's Award, and we're very proud to honor you with it. To recognize you as the outstanding graduate of Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University for your class. Congratulations. I'd like to introduce your senior class president, Bill Gorman. Bill?
President Tolman, Chancellor Doughton, Mr. Paulson, Mr. J. Paul Riddle, Mr. Stead, Vice Chancellors, Deans, Directors and Administrators, members of the clergy, members of the Board of Visitors and Trustees, distinguished guests, parents and friends, faculty and staff, my fellow graduates, good morning. No. On behalf of the fall 1986 graduating class, I would like to extend a warm welcome. Well, we finally made it. Today is the culmination of 4 years of pulling all-nighters, dollar Heineken nights at the Silver Bucket, spring breaks, anxiety attacks, and the proverbial Riddle runaround. This is the day we have spent the last 4 years anticipating and dreaming of. This is reality. We are here in Peabody Auditorium. We have made it. This is our moment of glory, the moment to bask in the personal feeling of knowing that we set our sights on this goal and struggled till we reached it. My fellow graduates, I congratulate you. We have come to the end of our journey here, and now it is time to embark on the next one. Our next journey places us on the threshold of that dynamic industry of aviation. It is an industry that places immense responsibility on the expertise of the professionals who move our world by air. We are the professionals. We are Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University graduates. We are the future engineers, maintenance technicians, managers, computer specialists, and pilots of the military and secular worlds. We have the vision, insight, and ability. Embry-Riddle has given us the foundation to expand and enhance the industry that we will be a part of very shortly. That's my aunt, but it is tradition here at Embry-Riddle for the graduating class to present a class project to the president and the university. This project is presented through the fundraising efforts of the Senior Class Council. The project is donated to aesthetically beautify the campus or to purchase an item needed by the university. Our Senior Class project fulfilled both of these needs. We, the fall class of '86, have purchased a wood-carved sign with the Embry-Riddle name on it, located at the new Catalina entrance to the university. We will be able to return to Embry-Riddle for many years to see the mark that we put on our university. The year 1986 has been a very special year for Embry-Riddle. It has been a year of celebration. This is our 60th anniversary. In just 60 years, Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University has grown out of a barn-like structure in Cincinnati, Ohio, into a world-respected aeronautical university. Embry-Riddle is a university that is growing, thriving, and bursting at the seams with expansive energy. It is a young university that needs students with strong minds, unlimited imagination, and a burning, unquenchable desire for learning. We as graduates have already supplied Embry-Riddle with this kind of student. It is now up to us as alumni to ensure that the future graduates who follow this tradition achieve their goals in this dynamic industry as we achieve ours. This now brings me up to the point where we must extend our sincerest thanks to the people you see around us. Without these people, the foundation we have built for ourselves could never have been possible. We would like to thank the faculty and staff of Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University. Thank you for providing us with your attention, guidance, and direction. You all have helped to put meaning in our lives and pushed us to where we are today. We would like to thank our friends for their listening, laughter, love of life, spirit, and pushing us to be the best people that we could possibly be. We would like to thank our grandparents and families, but the most important thanks is reserved for those two special and tolerant people sitting here today. Without them, this day could not have been a dream, much less a reality. I'm sure my peers will agree with me when I say, Mom, Dad, thank you for everything. I love you very much. All the time, effort, and phone bills have finally paid off. We made it. Growing up, my father told me, if you try hard enough, there is nothing you cannot do. This is a good attitude to face challenges with. There is nothing the fall '86 class cannot accomplish. We must keep this thought and attitude as we leave our industry out of the 20th century and into the 21st century. We are the aviation and space leaders of tomorrow. We will be bringing this country's within an afternoon flight of each other, and making a trip to outer space a reality for anyone with the desire. Once again, as president of my graduating class, I wish to say thank you, and to my fellow graduates, good luck. At this time, on behalf of the fall 1986 graduating class, I would like to present the two outstanding faculty awards. These two individuals were selected by us from the top nominees of each academic program. From the College of Engineering and Aviation Science, I would like to recognize Dr. John Wheeler. The plaque reads, Outstanding Faculty Award presented to Dr. John Wheeler for exemplifying the highest ideals of the teaching profession, December 13, 1986. Congratulations.
What a wonderful surprise. Thank you so much. Could I say a word, though? May I partially, or maybe even largely, accept this on behalf of those faculty members who do the yeoman's duty serving in the trenches, who teach required courses, lower-level courses, for without them, none of us would truly be here. Thank you so much, and let us also honor them.
From the College of Aviation Technology, Mr. John Walsh. The plaque reads, Outstanding Faculty Award presented to John B. Walsh for exemplifying the highest ideals of the teaching profession, December 13, 1986.
Thank you very much, and go get 'em.
Guests, parents, faculty, and staff, fellow graduates, we look forward to the future, our future, with great expectations and high hopes. Thank you for all the unforgettable times we have all enjoyed. My classmates, good luck in all your future endeavors. May God bless you and guide you until we all meet again. Thank you.
And your whole class. Embry-Riddle is fortunate to have several Armed Forces commissioning programs active on the Daytona Beach campus. The Air Force ROTC detachment has the largest enrollment of any civilian institution in the country, number 2 overall only to Texas A&M, while the Army ROTC detachment is one of the highest growth programs in the nation. In addition, Embry-Riddle provides more graduates to naval aviation than any other institution except the U.S. Naval Academy through the Platoon Leader Corps, and in addition we have 7 graduates today who will soon enter naval flight training leading to commissioning as ensigns. While 8 of our graduates have become the newest second lieutenants in the nation's armed forces, 3 in the United States Army, 3 in the Marine Corps, and 2 in the Air Force. We're very proud of all these people who are on the threshold of serving their nation, and I'd like them all to stand and be recognized. With the newest second lieutenants and the commissioners, we get down to the business at hand. The graduation exercises will now be conducted by Dr. R. Luther Reisbig, the Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs, the Daytona Beach campus. Dr. Reisbig.
Candidates completing their degrees with honors will be recognized when their names are announced as they cross the stage.
Honored guests, we are pleased to present the candidates for the associate and bachelor degrees. Candidates for the degree of Associate in Professional Aeronautics Program Chairman. Lawrence E. Wydell, Chief Warrant Officer, U.S. Army. Candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Professional Aeronautics Program Chairman Bruce R. Warren. Hamid A. Altani. Victor F. Casella. Captain Edward J. Camira, magna cum laude. Clement Figueroa. Staff Sergeant Gerald R. Fox, U.S. Army Special Forces, summa cum laude. Master Sergeant John P. Haggerty, U.S. Air Force. Officer Candidate Andre L. Johnson, D.C. Air National Guard. Shirley C. Link. James J. Makovich. Timothy W. Monville. Thomas P. Rorty. Technical Sergeant Terrence L. Stout. Petty Officer First Class Paul P. Sullivan, U.S. Navy, cum laude. L. Dean Williams. Now candidates for the degree of Associate in Aviation Maintenance Technology, Program Chairman Paul F. Taylor. Ivan D. Acosta. Robert L. Ahern, Member Senior Class Counsel, Petty Officer First Class, United States Navy. Walter S. Hanson. Patrick S. Kearns. James F. Martin. William R. Ostgaard. Juan C. Robledo. Martin J. Scarantino. Paul A. Stetzowitz. Robert C. Watkins. Candidates for the degree of Associate in Science in Avionics Maintenance Technology, Program Chairman John Brannon. Francisco Della Volpe. Robert W. Henderson. Thomas C. Hopkins. Kevin W. Johnson. Candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Aviation Technology, Program Chairman John Brannon. Jawad A. Ahmad. Jonathan M. Berkman. Ronald G. Calvin, who's who, 8687, magna cum laude. Charles E. Horning. Robert S. McDuffie. Kenneth M. Montgomery, cum laude. Franklin A. Rivaz. Raul Rambaut, summa cum laude. Second Lieutenant Jonathan P. Russell. Francis T. Zmerl. Mark A. Thompson. Joseph L. Villa. Dwayne A. Williman, cum laude. Scott D. Zeller. Gregory J. Zupkas. Candidate for the degree of Associate in Science in Aeronautical Studies, Program Chairman Bruce R. Morin. John R. McHarg. Candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Aeronautical Studies, Program Chairman Bruce R. Morin. Saeed Abdullah Ali. Kirkpatrick Barrett. John J. Blank. Kurt L. Betcher. Edward Peter Cole. Second Lieutenant U.S. Army Richard E. Grogan II, Member Senior Class Council. Larry H. Young. Lisa A. Doyle, Omicron Delta Kappa, Member Senior Class Council. Jean R. Zurich, Magna Cum Laude. Anthony A. Frasino. William F. Gutierrez. Brian M. Hazelton. Jeffrey M. Jones. Second Lieutenant Douglas E. Kimmerer, U.S. Marine Corps. Vincent M. Kirkman. William S. Kuhn. Jeffrey A. Lefevre, Member Senior Class Council. Eric A. Liebman. Andrew LeSure. Joseph P. Mahoner. Carla I. Mueller, Member Senior Class Council. Mark J. Newell. Second Lieutenant Philip S. Russell, U.S. Army. Christopher M. Spees. David Stepien. Leo F. Vane, Jr. Candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Aeronautical Science, Program Chairman William V. Gruber. Colin K. Ashcroft. Gray J. Bloom, cum laude. Martin E. Bojaki. George A. Campbell, cum laude. Mark S. Cherry. Joseph A. Cinquamani. George S. Corcoran III. Andrew J. Eiler, Jr. Thomas E. Faulkner. Gregory A. Garone. Akinlawan J. George. Stephen J. Gray. Neil A. Green. Paul C. Hammerall, cum laude. Michael J. Howard. Second Lieutenant Todd K. Kirsting. Colin K. Custer. Bridget Lacka, member Senior Class Council. Matthew J. Laviola. Peter S. Lee. Sebastian J. Lindenkamp, cum laude. Clemenceau J. Lopes. Kurt J. Lutz. Daniel D. Mays. John J. McDonald. Timothy B. Miller, member Senior Class Council, summa cum laude. Todd Miltner. Scott A. Wren, who's who 86-87, magna cum laude. John A. Rahani, Sigma Tau Delta. Pedro Romero. Alexander J. Sapiano. Muhammad Sidi Aliyu. Eric J. Stein, excuse me. Second Lieutenant Douglas E. Trent. Roberto F. Vaquero. Andrew R. Bienzousis. Stephen M. Wall. Christian M. Whitlock. Noel Eric Rulli, cum laude. And now candidates for the degree of Associate in Science in Aviation Computer Programming. Program Chairman, Abulfadza Salami. Emilio E. Guiti. Candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Computer Science with Aviation Applications. Program Chairman, Salami. Hamid Mohammed Al-Mahandri. Ricardo Chippy. Gerardo A. Colon. Magali Estevez. Gregory V. Gale, Secretary, Senior Class Council. Second Lieutenant Robin L. Jackson, U.S. Army Aviation. John H. Jusiton, Omicron Delta Kappa. Lisa M. Kelly. Michael S. Kelson, who's 86-87. Keith L. Litkett. Paul Martin Richard Dean. Elizabeth Rose Seaman. Nikolaus I. Stefandoudakis. Second Lieutenant Todd R. Story. John Varga. Candidate for the degree of Associate in Science and Aviation Business Administration. Program Chairman Donald J. Campbell. Karen D. Durkoff. Catherine E. Rayburn. Candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Aviation Business Administration, Program Chairman Donald Campbell. Colonel Daniel M. Casey. Ryad A. Shahab, Member Senior Class Council. Karen D. Ferris. William T. Gorman, President, Senior Class Council. Jeffrey Mahmoud. Jeffrey D. Miller. Rebecca R. Miller. Susan M. Mulvihill. Who's Who 8687, Member Senior Class Council, cum laude. Michael Dennis O'Keefe, Member Senior Class Council. Thomas Scott Pichelle, Member Senior Class Council. Arthur James Rodriguez III, Who's Who 8687, 85 and 86, magna cum laude. Cheryl D. Roy, Member, Senior Class Council. Cheryl Ann Stemrich. David R. Wagner, Who's Who 8586, magna cum laude. Candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Aviation Maintenance Management, Program Chairman Donald Campbell. Mohammed M. Al-Qurba. B. Douglas Campbell, cum laude. Amy M. Harmeen, Who's Who 8687, summa cum laude. Gregory M. Gami. Charles R. Hoyt. Elriza Karasani. Gregory F. Kowalski. Robert P. Lease. Rudy J. Meikle. Alan S. Pearl. Craig A. Pellissier. John J. Ryan, Member Senior Class Council. Now candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Aviation Administration, Program Chairman Donald Campbell. Dunladi T. Ibrahim. Bruce D. Murphy. Ishvan van Fidak. Candidates for the degree of Associate in Science in Aviation Management, Program Chairman Don Campbell. Ian A. Redhead. Rosario P. Shepard. Candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Aviation Management, Program Chairman Donald Campbell. Kelly A. Childs, Vice President, Senior Class Council. Luther W. Davidson. Harvey S. Dunlap, Fan Delta Kappa, Member, Senior Class Council. Dale N. Gillette. Michelle A. Kaiser, Sigma Tau Delta, cum laude. Krista K. Martin, Who's Who 8586. James B. Sechrist. Russell K. Shaw. Second Lieutenant Laura Scambra. Now candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Aircraft Engineering Technology, Program Chairman, Dr. Walter P. Schimmel. Mohammed I. Abushana. Robert S. Dan. Robert C. Kidwell. Michael L. Shim. Armin Torahith. Candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Aeronautical Engineering, Program Chairman, John Murphy. Greg L. Abbott, magna cum laude. Eduardo Benitez. Michael J. Blyden, Sigma Gamma Tau. Andrew C. Brunetto, member, Senior Class Council. Donald Terry Burnham. Donald R. Carswell, Sigma Gamma Tau, cum laude. Michael DiStefano. Michael K. Darkuski. David J. Falabella, Sigma Gamma Tau, cum laude. Timothy D. Farley. James N. Fillen, Sigma Gamma Tau, cum laude. Michael Todd Fingers. James Earl Gentry, Jr. Marco R. Harams. Michael D. Heyman, Sigma Gamma Tau, Sigma Tau Delta, member, Senior Class Council. Stephen R. Hirschhorn. Charles F. Nguli, Jr. Ehab K. Kamal. Mitchell R. Class Council. Arnaldo Lorenzo, Sigma Gamma Tau, magna cum laude. Edward W. Lynch. Venecio R. Martinez. Second Lieutenant Daniel W. McCarrick, U.S. Air Force, Sigma Gamma Tau. Second Lieutenant Randall Edward McCormick, U.S. Air Force, member, Senior Class Council. Lester Millerball. Orlando E. Negron. Randy Ciola. Kim A. Poland, member, Senior Class Council. Eliseo P. Zapata, member, Senior Class Council. Norman D. Schneider, Sigma Gamma Tau. Gautam H. Shaw, Who's Who 8687, Sigma Gamma Tau, member, Senior Class Council, magna cum laude. Jocelyn E. Smith. Richard A. Smith, Who's Who 8687, Omicron Delta Kappa Sigma Gamma Tau, magna cum laude. Benjamin A. Triber. Daniel C. Uche. Antonio A. Baz. William A. Ball, Sigma Gamma Tau. Todd W. Weigley. Italo A. Zanin. Chancellor and Vice Chancellor will now conduct the hooding of the master's students. For the degree of Master of Aeronautical Science, Lieutenant Commander from the Venezuelan Navy, Yohines Baroni. Christine H. de Saint-Genoir. Joseph B. Saunders. Scott Strickland. Munir E. Turkey. Candidates for the degree of Master of Aviation Management, Mahmoud H.S. Abdallah. Leslie Edahan. Martin A. McCord. Gregor. Harry C. Munns. William R. Sambolt. Umnam Peter Shin. Joseph C. Talavera II. Candidates for the degree of Master of Business Administration in Aviation. From Karachi, Pakistan, Mohammed Afzal. Diana Daly Boucher. Robert M. Burley. Louis. Irana K. Guevara. Dean Kawaji of the San Diego Kappa, Avenue Sigma. Park R. Leonard III. Mary E. Marr. Kevin T. McNamara. Edward B. Ryder, Jr. Candidates for the dual degree of Master of Aeronautical Science and Master of Business Administration in Aviation. Leighton A. Williams.
A member of the Board of Trustees will confer the degrees. Will all the candidates for the degrees please rise? Mr. Stead, upon the recommendation of the faculty of the university, it is my honor to present to you the candidates for graduation.
By the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I hereby confer upon you as appropriate the associate degree, the associate in science degree, the bachelor's degree, the Bachelor of Science degree, and the master's degree with all the rights, privileges, honors, and responsibilities appertaining thereto. Congratulations, graduates. You may now move your tassels from the right to the left.
but it still counts. The interest and the dedication and the support of two groups of people play a very important part in the success of our university: the Board of Trustees and the Board of Visitors. Will any members of these boards please stand so that we may recognize you? Visitors and trustees, please stand. Rise to your